Hi, Miss Skelet's class. This week we're going to talk about time. Just like last week, all of our lessons had to do with fractions. This week we're going to talk about time. But first, let's do just a little bit of fraction review. A fraction has two parts. You've got your top number and your bottom number. Your bottom number is called the denominator. The denominator. And it's how many pieces are in the whole thing. The top part, the numerator, is how many pieces something is being done to. Let's take our example of 2/5. This rectangle is broken into fifths. If I were to ask you how many, or not how many, well, if I said how many pieces, you would say 2 pieces. But if I said what fractional part of the rectangle is shaded in, you would put the 2 on top and the whole 5 on the bottom. And if you said that, it would sound like this: 2/5. Now, right now, pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, it's not really important that you know how to say this yet. Second grade, when you come into third, it won't be long before we do a quick review of this and you'll pick it up right away. But the big thing to remember is that however many pieces something is broken into, that's your bottom number. So this circle, for example, how many pieces is it broken into? 1, 2, 3, 4. So its bottom number is 4. And then if I said how many pieces are colored, you've got 1 with color on it. So you would put a 1 as the top number, the numerator. Okay, that's your fraction review. Today we're going to talk about time. And this is going to be just a very quick introduction to time. When you look at a clock, it has 2 sticks. We call these hands. And did you know this part of the clock is called the face of the clock? So a clock has a face and a clock has hands. But it can't wave and it can't blink. This hand, the long one, is called the minute hand. And you use it to tell what minute we're on. And look, if you look at my clock, you can see that it counts so that you can keep up with the minutes. This hand, the little hand, the short hand, is called the hour hand. And you use it to tell which hour it is. So we're just going to do some that are straight up on the hour. When it's on the hour, that's once it hits to 60 seconds, it goes back to double zeros. That's called o'clock. So this is 6 o'clock. So let's start right here. 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock. And 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock has 2 very special names. 12 o'clock in the middle of the day, when we used to have lunch at school, is also called noon. And 12 o'clock at night, when it's really, really dark and you should be asleep, is called midnight. So if someone says we have lunch at 12 or we have lunch at noon, they're meaning 12 o'clock. That's something else. A lot of times when it's just on the hour, people will just say the number instead of saying, for example, 10 o'clock. If somebody said, what time is it? Somebody could say 10 o'clock or somebody could say 10. And everyone would know what they mean. So, do a few for me. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Oops, it's not going to stay. It's not going to stay. There we go. What time is it? 5 o'clock. What time is it? 10 o'clock. And when the hour hand is covered by the minute hand, what time is it? 12 o'clock. What are the other two names that we could have for 12? What is 12 o'clock in the day? Noon. And 12 o'clock at night? Midnight. Good job. Let's do a few quick additions. 11, 16, 15, 12, 13, 17, 16, 9, 8. Good job. I will see you tomorrow.